Hello everyone, it's Barbara here, your favorite longtime professional home care personal support worker, union steward, and certified member and co-chair of 2 joint health and safety committees. I hope this video finds you well. It's going to be of a personal nature, but I'm going to share it anyway because someone somewhere may pick up something from it. I deliver healthcare. This past week, I was on the receiving end. Some of you know I had a colonoscopy on the 18th of October. The post-op complications were mild. Those of you who have had one know what I'm talking about. On the 27th of October, after things had been going swimmingly, I suffered a catastrophic loss of blood. You see, each of us has between 4.5 and 5.5 liters. I put myself toward the higher end because I'm 9'6". I lost 1/3 and went into hypovolemic shock. I almost lost consciousness twice because my blood pressure bottomed out. Losing that much, your heart is trying to pump a volume that's not there. Your body has suffered such a loss of fluid volume, in my case blood, and it reacts accordingly. It can even happen in severe cases of dehydration. So, going into hypovolemic shock looks like I was sweaty, cold, clammy, short of breath, headache, lightheaded, heart palpitations. It was beating fast and hard because, again, it was trying to circulate a volume that wasn't where it should be. And I had mottling on my legs. Now, one of the defense mechanisms of your body, and your body is an incredible thing, is it will take the blood that's left and concentrate it in the organs to keep them alive. So the flow isn't going to your limbs the way it should, and they'll take on a mottled appearance, and they will feel cold. So needless to say, they admitted me. They also ordered blood thinking they may transfuse me. The doctor came in and asked me what I thought happened. And I said, well, I think the cauterization from the colonoscopy has failed, and you will have to fix it. Well, he did an exam and said, well, I think you may have blown a hemorrhoid because I felt a soft spot. Then he looked in the commode. There was more than a liter in there. He then agreed with me. So they put me on IV fluids to try to bring up my fluid levels. Now, another issue with this is hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is the protein that makes your blood cells red. It's with the iron, and it helps move the oxygen around. For women, and I say women because when you look at the stats, it's divided between men and women. Our normal range is between 131 and 151 grams per liter. I measured 140 when I came in. When they sent me home 3 days later, I was at 98. Now here's the thing. When you're below 100, you're anemic. But the hospital policy states they will not transfuse you until you hit 80. The thing is, there was blood there ready to transfuse. I may have an operation, but they will do what they can to try to keep those things from happening. Another thing they did was put me on what we call an NPO diet. In Latin, that's non per os. In English, it means nothing by mouth, because if they were going to have to operate, I needed to have an empty stomach. When it reached the 24-hour point, during which I passed no blood, they put me on a liquid diet. They were still measuring my hemoglobin, and it dropped to 120, and then 112, and then 101, and then 98 when they let me go. See, transfusing is an extreme measure, so they will do what they can to try to keep that from happening. But in the meantime, they had me on the IV fluids. Now, the fluid volume replenishes within, I think it's a couple of days. The issue is the hemoglobin. That could take a few months. So they put me on iron pills, and I think I will be on those for the next while. I went in today to have blood drawn to see where it's at. I am seeing my doctor next Tuesday. So it was my first ever ambulance ride and extended stay in a hospital. Now, this was all the clinical stuff. Here's all the personal stuff. I was telling a friend about this, and they said, man, you almost died. And I thought, well, I don't know if I'd put it that way. And then I thought, you know what? I came really close. You see, as a Buddhist, humanist, Stoic, we have a thing called memento mori, which means remember, I will die. And it's just a truth that you could die at any time. You never know when it's going to happen. And I try to live my life fully as best I can. I'm not always perfect, but you know. But the thing is, lying there in that bed, it was right here. I was staring it right in the face. It almost took me, but it didn't. It's like, up yours, Thanatos. Thanatos is the Greek god of death, not to be confused with Hades, who's the Greek god of the dead and then the underworld. But I was lying there and I had my phone. I realized I reached out to my immediate contact, gave them my sister's number. Now, the reason why my sister is not my immediate contact is because she lives at the other end of the country, whereas my immediate contact lives 2 hours away. My sister can't drop everything and come out here. To my sister, I gave the numbers of a couple of people who are really dear to me and said, if I do shuffle off this mortal coil, let them know. And then she became all upset, and I was having to comfort her in the middle of my being upset because I'm realizing I could well die here today. There's another thing, too. I've said that when I die, I want it to be without regret. But the thing is, I had one. Sorry, I'm reliving it for a minute here. I addressed it. And then I felt lighter for having done so. It was quite an experience I've never been that close before. As I said, it almost took me, but it didn't. I'm a tough old broad. Y'all are stuck with me for a while yet. And today everything seems a little brighter and a little bit more vivid. The music sounds much sweeter. But I realize going forward I have to do better. I have to do better as a person, as a human. Going forward, I'm going to do the thing or say the thing. Get out and kayak more. Well, except for this week because I have to take it easy. The weather gods are being very cruel right now. It is going to be beautiful this week. But I'm nothing if I'm not one for following the rules. And I know if I don't do this, I could make something worse. And then I'm no good to anybody. So, of course, I'm going to follow the rules. So, that was it. I hope one or two of you are able to glean something from this. Maybe if it helps you in some way. To my sister, I say, I'm sorry I didn't mean to scare you. And I am doing well. I'm keeping up my fluids. Oh, speaking of which, pardon me. Leftovers from Halloween. It's pomegranate juice. Oh, when I was in the hospital, I was having a good time with the nurses, making them laugh. Somebody had said something, and I said, well, I'm a healthcare worker, you know. I'm supposed to be a crappy patient. I want you all to stay healthy, stay safe, live life to the fullest, and I'll see you on the flip side.